Case file Water Strider. Name, sick, redacted. Year of birth, 19 redacted. Home address, redacted. Work position, redacted. Diagnosis, redacted. Date of admission, November 15th, redacted. Attending physician, redacted. Alright. Recordings on. Case review starting. In the study of mental status, the method of interviewing was actively used. A total of more than 10 interviews were conducted, during which the patient was interviewed in accordance with approved methods. Below is a compilation of the patient's responses. The speech of the attending physician is excluded from this excerpt. The full transcript of the conversations can be found in the case history.
No, doctor, no need for careful introductions, I understand why I'm here. Let's start from the beginning, okay? It will be easier for me that way. Have you ever thought about how many membranes around you that hide something unpleasant or scary? Take your skin, doctor. A thin film that you are used to, which you consider normal and even beautiful. And you hate to think about violating its integrity, right? Cut, tear, see what's underneath. Remove it and see everything without embellishment. Even if it's all of us too, but it's better to let it stay there, behind a thin film of beautiful and smooth skin, right? Let him stay on the other side. Or, say, mirrors. No, this is not the same thing at all, but a thin glass line that separates us from a world that is exactly like ours. We will never get there, and therefore we do not know how he lives, according to what laws. Yes, physics says that there is nothing there, and we only see rays of light reflected from the amalgam, but our eyes tell us that the mirror is a window to another world. And this inspires even more fear, because this world is very close, it is so clearly visible, but not achievable. This is probably why so many horror films are written and filmed about mirrors. Somehow it becomes uncomfortable if you seriously think about the world there, on the other side. And there is also a thin film of the Earth's crust. Thin, if you compare it with thousands of kilometers of monstrous pressures and temperatures seething under it. And there is a thin layer of air separating us from the boundless blackness of space beyond. There is a cocoon of the magnetic field that hides us from the fury of the nearest star. We all, like fragile greenhouse plants, live in a small world, shrouded on all sides with thin films that protect us from horror from the other side. Sometimes we can even look there, stay there for a while, using complex devices that we invented in order to convince ourselves that we are not afraid. We are not afraid. But we're afraid, doctor. We know perfectly well that there, on the other side, we do not belong. The destruction of these membranes is inextricably linked for us with pain, fear, and death. Break the skin and it will hurt, blood will flow, creatures invisible to us will rush into the defenseless inside, infecting, causing them to swell and rot. Die. We wince from scratches and faint from deep wounds, we strive to quickly hide the destroyed film under a plaster or bandages, to patch up the hole. Red-hot magma pours from cracks and holes in the Earth's crust, burning everything around, volcanoes bury entire cities. And we scare each other with fairy tales about how one day a supervolcano will overturn humanity into the Stone Age. We are afraid of ozone holes and the reversal of the poles. Even breaking a mirror is a bad omen. We are afraid of the destruction of the films that envelop us. Do you want to know what is the quintessence of this fear for me? Water Strider. Do you know who this is, Doctor. Such small thin-legged bugs that run on the surface of the water. Do you know that there are species that even live in the ocean? Think about it, a tiny living creature that slides on the surface of the water, relying only on the force of surface tension. You and I do not even consider this border a membrane, we cross it many times every day, we wash our faces, drink coffee, wash our hands, run in the rain to work, splashing through puddles. And for water striders, this surface is their living space. Their world. You know, I've always wondered if they were aware of what's underneath them. Ocean water striders, they understand that beyond the thin shiny line, very close to them, there may be creatures completely alien to them. Able to swallow them in one motion, pull them out of their world to the side where there is no air and everything around is different and deadly for them. I don't think so. Therefore, when you, doctor, ask me to tell you what I saw, I cannot. Like a thin-legged bug that lives on the surface of the water, I don't know how to describe to you a fish whose huge head suddenly tore apart that film, which I considered a monolith.
Let's take a step back for just a moment. Can you tell me when everything started?
When did it start? Probably about 6 months ago. I woke up feeling like there was someone in the room. This makes me feel very uncomfortable, doctor. At night you wake up and feel that you are not alone in the dark. But if you are an adult, then you know perfectly well that this can be the remnants of a dream, mind games. I got up and turned on the light. The room, of course, was empty. I almost managed to convince myself that it was only the remnants of sleep that disturbed me, but I noticed ripples in the curtains. Like circles on the water, doctor, soft, barely noticeable waves. I confess that I felt cold, but nevertheless I reminded myself of the drafts and went to the window. Behind the curtain, of course, doctor, there was nothing. Just my window, an ordinary window in an ordinary house. Which also went in waves, light, almost imperceptible ripples. I did not immediately understand what it was. I can't even say that I understood, I just began to notice it. Light ripples, barely noticeable waves? No, not at the windows, doctor. They are on everything. It is difficult to describe, the fabric of space itself oscillates like a film, as if something is moving somewhere under it. Something below the surface of our world. Something from that side.
Do these sorts of events only happen shortly after waking up?
No, not only after waking up, since then I have noticed these ripples at different times of the day. I tried to convince myself that the problem was in the eyes, but the doctors found nothing. I just saw it. I don't know why me. I don't know, doctor, really.
What exactly do these ripples look like?
Looks like waves. It looks like water humps when something floats close to the surface. Sometimes on a sagging rubber film. Only it is not some surface that oscillates, but all at once. Now I'm used to it.
And do you see any of these ripples right now?
Yes, of course I see, doctor. Now it's a wall behind you. You turned pale. Once I saw how the field of view was distorted by something incredibly huge. The earth swelled to the very horizon, then the wave went into the sky, bent it. I was already expecting that now I would see how the surface of our world is torn, and something appears from the other side. Maybe a whale? Haha. Or was it just a small fish, and whales bent galaxies? I would love to see the stars through a telescope. We're all water striders, Doctor. Yes, that was the first time I came to the attention of your colleagues. I was in a panic, Doctor. The dimensions of this, the very existence of this is so close, beyond the thin line, behind the film. I almost went crazy that day. You know, I was thinking about fish. Here, you and I are two water bugs on the surface of the water, and there, below us, who knows? Who can even realize them, for whom we are just drawings on a thin sheet? They probably don't even notice us most of the time. Why do we need them? But sometimes the bugs interest the fish simply because they move. I think I've interested someone on the other side. He circles around.
Does this someone want to keep you safe?
In safety, haha, oh my. Ha ha ha. Here is your hospital, doctor. And here I am in it. See me, doctor? Of course you see. You are not drawn on this piece of paper. I can draw a lot of rooms in this house, close a little man with a dozen of these walls, even cover him with a blanket. Like that, haha. We see him, doctor. They too. They see.
Do these things come here to just simply watch you?
No, not only to see. I know, doctor, I know. I know that the film between us is no stronger than the one on which water striders slide. Because I saw her tear.
What do you mean?
I can't describe it. You ask one water bug to tell another how a fish had penetrated through the unshakable fabric of the universe, tearing it apart and swallowing someone in one gulp. Can the bug describe the fish? Can this two-dimensional man here tell how I cut his girlfriend from a sheet with scissors, right in front of his eyes? I've seen it, but I can't describe it, I just can't quite remember it. Consider that my mind caved in under the guise of this. Haha.
Is this the event that got you to come to us? To come seek help?
Nearly broke, doctor. That's how I got to you.
Do you feel safe now that you are here?
No, I don't feel safe. Rather, I just resigned myself. They are here, nearby, behind a thin film. Now, always. Now I understand where so many people disappear to. Remember those stories, Doctor? Croatoan and the like. Entire cities where all the people just disappeared overnight. It's like a whale. It surfaced, sifted part of our world through its whalebone, and dived back with a mouthful of krill. I'm tired of being afraid, I want to hope, doctor. I hope I'm just insane and you can cure me. I hope the creatures on the other side lose interest in me. I hope that they will again choose not me, but someone nearby. Yes, I think we are the same for them, like bed bugs for us. Maybe we are also ripples on the surface of something for them. They don't really understand, they grab something that moves or somehow manifests itself. How they grabbed that person in front of me. You have a strange face, doctor, you.
Dr. Redacted apparently left the city under unclear circumstances. According to the testimony of the staff, conversations with the patient each time more and more disturbed him. The last conversation brought him into an extremely excited state. A few days after he last appeared at the workplace, his relatives reported him missing. The patient was transferred to another attending physician. The patient escaped from a closed ward and left the territory of the clinic in an unknown way. The method of escape is being investigated. Presumably, he was assisted by one of the staff. Possibly a Dr. Redacted. The information has been passed on to the police. This case will be revised once we have more information on the whereabouts of the patient, or the doctor in question. Alright, we're good. Okay. Cut the footage.